gentlemen, my name is
Howard J. Dingers. And this is 3 Count Review.
Welcome everyone to Smackdown Live.
Smackdown Live Edition. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is KO, aka Howard J. Dingers, and welcome to 3 Count Review presented by First Round KO. Welcome to 3 Count Review Smackdown Live Edition. Today, I am by myself in the studio, but that's alright because I have plenty to say about today's Smackdown Live episode. Well, yesterday's Smackdown Live episode. If you are listening on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button. Give us a support. Comment down below. Let me know what you thought of today's episode of SmackDown Live, and give us a like. So, let's talk about this because we had a really fun opening to SmackDown Live today. We opened up with... Well, it opened with the Miz TV graphic, and it opened up with Miz's theme song. But in the ring was standing R-Truth and Carmella. I found that very interesting. It was definitely very confusing opening up. You hear Miz's music and you see Truth and Carmella, but then you see in the ring. Then Truth goes, he does the whole welcome to the most must-see WWE talk show in history, and he says, welcome to Truth TV, and the graphic changes from Miz TV to Truth TV. He says, give me a what's up. He's still super over is R-Truth. The entire crowd still yells, what's up. He's doing really good for himself for being in the company for as long as he has. Without too many character changes, really. It's really just heel or face. Truth. So he then announces that his first guest for for Truth TV would be Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan comes to the ring, and Truth says that he has a lot of questions for Bryan. Truth then puts on a pair of reading glasses so that he can read his questions that he had written down for Bryan. And he asked Bryan how cathartic it would be if Bryan defeated Miz at Super Showdown and went on to compete for the WWE Championship. Bryan says that Truth asked a very insightful question, and that the show was way better than Miz TV. Daniel went on to try to continue answering the question, but Carmella interrupted Daniel and was like, Truth, it's time. Time for what? And she says, it's time for the 7-second dance party break. And some generic music starts playing, and Truth and Carmella dance for 7 seconds and then sit back down. And then Bryan says, I'll say it again, this show is way better than Miz TV. Bryan then says, beating Miz, we'll cover all bases, and it will be cathartic. And then this all brings out the Miz. Now, first off, Miz asks what Truth is doing. And Truth explains, because last week, or 2 weeks ago, R-Truth beat the Miz in the main events of SmackDown. And Truth said, if you would have been a champion, I would have your championship right now because I beat you. Since you don't have a championship, I just took your show. And I thought that was actually perfect because that's totally something R-Truth would think of. It just made me laugh really hard. Miz says that he knows why people love Daniel Bryan. Miz was like, okay, whatever. And he turned his focus to Daniel Bryan. He says he knows why everyone loves Daniel Bryan so much. Why? One of the reasons is because Bryan always fights fair. And that is why Bryan will never beat The Miz. Miz will do whatever it takes to win, especially when it comes on to the WWE Championship. Bryan is too proud to do what needs to be done to win. If Bryan cheats, Bryan will forever tarnish the name Daniel Bryan. Truth then tells Miz that he ran too long and killed R-Truth's planned animal segment. I just love how outlandish R-Truth is. I don't know how much creative input he has, or if this is all, Road Dogg and the rest of the SmackDown writing team. But this has just been Truth over the past month or so has just been fantastic. I really love it a lot. R-Truth then bans Miz from Truth TV for life. And Truth says if Miz wants his show back, then he'll have to fight him for it. In the middle of Miz speaking, Truth and Carmella do another 7-second dance break. This whole segment was fantastic. Miz got all mad and he walked off backstage. And he ran into Paige and he was like, Paige, you need to do something about this. This shouldn't be happening. That's my show, blah, blah, blah. They stole my format. And Paige was literally just like, if it's your show and you feel that confident about it, go win it back. You actually have to go beat him to get your show back. So that means to open SmackDown after this in-ring segment, we actually had R-Truth versus The Miz for the rights to Miz TV. This was great. I loved it. I loved every second of it. It was really good. So this was actually a solid match. I have to give R-Truth credit because he actually is still really good in the ring, and he adapts. Like, obviously, he adapts his dancing style too. He hits different kind of. He adds new dance moves as the time goes on. He flossed a couple weeks ago, whatever. He's updating that, but he really he's upgraded his dance style, or his wrestling style. He's really become or evolved into a good wrestler. Not fantastic by any means, but a good wrestler. And with Miz wrestling, obviously, it's going to be a good match. Miz has been fantastic over the past couple of years. So the storyline that they were telling, obviously, with the promo earlier on, was that Daniel won't cheat to beat Miz, but Miz will cheat to beat Bryan, and that's why Miz will always win. And that story was continued to be told during this match, as towards the end, R-Truth kind of had the upper hand, but Miz hit a thumb to the eye when the ref wasn't looking, and this immediately turned into a skull-crushing finale. Now, after the skull-crushing finale, Miz stared down Daniel, who was on commentary. He was staring him down. He said, I will do whatever it takes to win. And he just kept saying that to him. And he eventually stood up in the corner, and he started doing the yes chant. Yes, yes, yes. And as soon as Truth stood up, Miz hit Truth with the running knee for the 1-2-3, Daniel Bryan's finisher. This was fantastic. I loved every second of it. It was great. It really furthered the storyline. Daniel then ran into the ring to try to hit Miz or whatever, and Miz just ran away. And this is really good. Miz right now, he has always been the chicken-ass heel, especially over the past couple of years, but he's had kind of backup. And with the Miz Taraj and Maurice, and I think he had someone before that too, but now he's all alone. And they're choosing to tell, they're choosing to tell the story that he is a good enough wrestler, but not good enough to beat Daniel. He has to cheat to win to beat Daniel, but Miz is okay with that because Miz doesn't care what the fans think of him. Miz is completely fine with the fans hating him as long as he wins. And it's perfect storyline. It's really good storytelling as far as having a heel champion who used to get help to win. Now he has to help himself, and he's able to do that. And it's such a good storyline. It's really good because now they're also creating the storyline element where Daniel may have to cheat to win, where they might tease, maybe at Super Showdown, they might tease Daniel cheating to win. They're adding another layer to this story, and it's It's actually really good storytelling. I still firmly believe that they shouldn't have continued this rivalry. They should have done the one-off match at SummerSlam, and then they should have split off into separate ways and then picked it up later, maybe Royal Rumble time or something like that, and have it culminate at WrestleMania. But they're choosing to do this, so I was scared at first when they were choosing to continue the storyline. But they're able to add these different story elements, and if they continue to do that and they're able to change the story without changing the characters, this is going to be really good. And this feud could honestly go on for a long time, and these matches and the storyline, I don't think we'll get that boring. It got boring with the wives, I will admit. The mixed match at Hell in a Cell was not great. But I'm really interested now, especially because this match is a number one contendership match, basically. So whoever wins gets a shot at the champion. And it's going to be really interesting come Super Showdown. Backstage, they showed a clip from, quote-unquote, earlier in the day where Charlotte was doing a photo shoot. Why? Not really sure. She wasn't in wrestling gear. She's not a champion. Not sure why. But she was doing a photo shoot, and Becky attacked her from behind. Becky wearing the title, and she said, "Why are you doing a photo shoot? No one wants to see you. They want to see the champion." Blah blah blah. She stood over the champ. She like put a foot on beating up Charlotte. Really good segment. And because that was quote unquote earlier in the day, Tom Phillips then announced that Charlotte had been taken to a medical facility and then sent home for the day. So she was not at SmackDown Live, and that'll come into play a little later. The next match, we had Sheamus versus Big E of the New Day. Sheamus, obviously, of the Bar, taking on the New Day. This was a really good match. I really enjoy all 5 of these competitors. I love all 3 members of the New Day. They're all fantastic wrestlers. They're all really good storytellers, all with different strengths that all complement each other greatly. And the Bar, too, obviously. The Bar, the Sheamus and Cesaro, 2 fantastic singles competitors who have really found life in this tag team division. They're just fantastic. I am almost hoping that eventually we'll get a split of the Bar. As much as I love the Bar, I really want to see them strive as singles competitors, specifically Cesaro. I want him to get a championship at some point, like a WWE championship. Cesaro really needs that because he deserves it. He's a really good wrestler, and he just deserves it. But anyway, we have Sheamus versus Big E. This match was really good because these two are really good, and they're specifically really good at being big guys. So this was a big guy match. They literally, what did they call it? I don't remember. They called it something. They said it like 3 or 4 times. So they knew it was a big man match. The commentators did. Side note, too, on the way in to the ring, Big E was doing the usual pancake thing, dumping the box of pancakes on the fans and stuff and throwing pancakes into the crowd. And Corey Graves said, "I normally fear the New Day pancakes, but not tonight we're in Colorado, so I fear them even more." And then I think it was Byron Saxton just said, "We're in Mile High, aren't we?" I just thought that was a really, really good little wink wink, nudge nudge reference for anyone who could understand that. I thought that was really good. So anyway, this match was really good. A lot of different big spots with Big E catching a brogue kick into a powerbomb. Fantastic spot. Big E did his splash on the apron. Big E went for the big ending towards the end. Sheamus grabbed the ropes to get away from it and hit Big E with the brogue kick and won clean. And I am fully okay with last week Cesaro won clean over Kofi. This week Sheamus won clean over Big E. I am fully okay with this because it tells a subtle story. Whether they're trying to or not, this tells a really good story. Cesaro and Sheamus, like I said earlier, are fantastic singles competitors. They're really good on their own. Even though they figured out how to be a team, they're really good on their own. New Day kind of formed a team together because they weren't doing. Obviously, they can hold their own in singles competition, but I'm like storyline wise, they can hold their own, but they're not on the level of Sheamus and Cesaro. So I really think they're trying to tell the story that, New Day are a great team, and they're really good together. But Sheamus and Cesaro are two great singles competitors as well as a good team. It's just now because they beat them clean. They beat New Day clean in singles competition. Now can they do that in tag team competition? And I don't know if they're going to. I think they're still going to tell the story that New Day are a better team. It's all storyline. It's all really good. It's all really good storytelling. I really liked all of this. Yeah. I just really like Sheamus and Cesaro. They're really good wrestlers. Next, we had an in-ring segment. It was Rusev Day. Happy Rusev Day, everyone, I might say. Rusev came out and said that English had betrayed him on Rusev Day, and that makes English a traitor. Rusev demanded that English come out and explain himself. Rusev just wanted to know why English did this last year. He just wanted to know why Aiden did. This brought out Aiden. Aiden is wearing a new Aiden Day shirt in the colors of the Chicago, kind of like the powder blue and the red and the white. Really cool. And the microphone skirt, I believe it's called, that used to say Rusev Day on it. It now says Aiden Day. Happy Aiden Day, like his shirt does. I love it because now he's kind of self-promoting because he has to. Really good. English comes out and he says he knows that Rusev is angry, and none of it is English's fault. He says it's not my fault. None of this was my fault. I didn't want to do this. But when Aiden first met Rusev was great, but no one cared about him. Aiden added a layer to Rusev that made people care. He helped create Rusev Day, and that's when people started to care about him. Aiden shows a highlight reel of them becoming Rusev Day, basically, and them being a really good team. Aiden says that they were amazing together. They were destined to be legends. But what happened? Lana happened. This whole mess is Lana's fault. English plays a video that shows Lana getting in the way, and that they were way better with just the two of them being English and Rusev. Lana says before English, she got Rusev a tank at WrestleMania, and that Rusev was unstoppable. I love that they just kind of randomly brought up the tank thing. I thought that was, excuse me, I thought that was kind of funny. English, Lana goes on to say that English is a glorified cheerleader, and English says, if Lana is so honest, has she told Rusev about that one night in Milwaukee? Ooh. English drops the mic and walks out. Backstage, Lana says that she has no idea what English is talking about. Everyone played this segment perfectly. I just have to go out there and say that. Aiden was fantastic. Rusev reacted just correctly. He was just the right amount confused and still angry at English and everything. Lana played this really good. She's, like, what's going on? I don't know what you're talking about. This was all really good, and I'm actually really interested in where they go, because now Aiden is trying to break up Lana and Rusev, quote unquote break up, so that he can go back to being with Rusev and it can be just the two of them. And throwing out this Milwaukee thing, first of all, shouts out Milwaukee, I love it, but it's interesting. It's a really good storyline element because English is now kind of distracting Rusev from what he did, bringing up what Lana might have done. Later in the show, English says that he has video evidence of what happened in Milwaukee. And I just have to throw it out there. Some people have pointed it out online, and I saw this also. And I don't know exactly how I feel about this. It'll be interesting. If anyone remembers back in 2016, there was a backstage segment with Lana and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. And Dwayne basically said that he slept with Lana. and that was in Wisconsin. I don't know where. It might have been Green Bay, but it was in Wisconsin. So if it turns out to be Dwayne, I don't know. Some people are mad about that because it's kind of lazy, but at the same time, it's a really good callback. I don't know. I think it depends on how they handle it. I think it could be very good. But this segment was fantastic. It really furthers the storyline, and I hope that we get a couple matches and this evolate. I hope that this elevates both Rusev and English. Sorry, got distracted there. The match that we had next was Asuka and Naomi, or known as the Empress and the Glow, versus Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. This match was pretty meh. I mean, I really like Asuka. Naomi has been very stale for me lately as far as wrestling. Mandy Rose and Sonya are still learning, I'd say. But when Asuka was in the ring and when she was getting her offense in, she looked really good. So I hope they actually start to use Asuka. But it looks like this just confirms even further. I'll say this every week. It confirms further that there's going to be a women's tag match or division. It's just going to happen. They just create tag teams out of nowhere. Naomi and Asuka hit a double head kick on Sonya Deville for the win. Pretty cool. Iconics were on commentary. They're fantastic at talking, so put them on commentary more. It was really good, really entertaining, and they did a really good job of putting over their match. And like they were cheering on Mandy and Sonya because they wanted, it's fantastic. They did a really good job at promoting the Super Showdown match. The next match we had was Shinsuke Nakamura versus Ty Dillinger. And this match, I have to say, this is my favorite match of the night. And I might be a little biased because Shinsuke is probably my favorite wrestler, and I really like Ty Dillinger. But honestly, like objectively, this match was just really entertaining because Dillinger, as soon as the bell rang, Dillinger went after Nakamura. He went and attacked Nakamura. So, like, this match just got going right away. There were a lot of big moves early. A lot of reversals. It wasn't just a beatdown and then a quick reversal and then Nakamura won or anything like that. There was a lot of reversals, a lot of back and forth. It was really good stuff. Eventually, Dillinger had Nakamura up for like his 10 punches in the corner. You go 1, 2, 3, all that stuff. And out of nowhere, because that's all they can do with him, Randy Orton attacks Ty Dillinger. Dillinger just absolutely got the crap kicked out of him by Randy Orton. Randy did so many different things around the ring, throwing him into the barricade, slamming in the ring, just a bunch of different stuff, throws him on the ropes, and then does the draping DDT from the ring to the outside, which was great stuff. And Randy left, and then when Dillinger was just kind of laying up against the ring, all of a sudden Nakamura comes out of nowhere. Kinshasa into the ring, his head, it was brutal. Really good segment. This match was really good. A lot of back and forth, a lot of quick-paced action, really good near falls on both sides because this wasn't a title match. So, like, I actually bought into a Ty Dillinger near fall every once in a while. It was really good. Ty Dillinger won off of the DQ. Backstage, Mike Rome, thinking of the other guy. Mike Rome asked Orton if Dillinger was his next target, and he said no. He just doesn't like Dillinger's perfect 10 shtick. He said it made him very upset, so that's why he that's why he attacked him. It's not his next target, not his next feud. I think it will be, but yeah, he just wanted to beat him up. I like this new Randy character. Becky Lynch versus Lana. This was announced earlier because Becky said that she runs the division and she wants to shut Lana up or something. I don't know. Lynch controlled most of this match. I think Lana got some offense in, like some reversal stuff, but Lynch is the champion and Lana is, in storyline, not a great wrestler. So Lynch got the most of this. Eventually, Bex blowed her into a disarm her. Lana tapped out pretty quickly. Winner, Becky Lynch. Not much was made of Becky after this match, which is fine. Have her dominate, because then what we had was a continuation of the Lana English storyline, where this was where English said, I have video evidence and I'll show it next week. So cool. We finally come to the end of the show. The final in-ring segment It was the WWE Championship contract signing for Super Showdown between AJ Styles and Samoa Joe. Joe never came out to the ring. Styles was announced, and then when Joe was announced, nothing happened, and Paige was like apologizing. And then Styles, he was like, that's all right. I knew he wasn't going to come and face me face to face like a man. Last contract signing we had, he attacked me from behind. I knew this was going to happen. And then he just cut a promo on how, like, you know, I'm going to beat him because now it's no DQ and now I can beat him up, blah, blah, blah. He basically just said, I'm going to win at Super Showdown. And finally, Joe appeared on the Titantron, on the video screen. Joe says that tonight he found himself a place he never would have expected. Joe is at the Styles household. And this is what I've been waiting for. Oh, I was so excited when I saw this. Joe shows the mailbox that says Styles on it, and Styles just starts going nuts. He goes, Paige, he's at my house. Hey, dude, why are you at my house? What are you doing? This was great. This was amazing. I loved every second of it. And Joe basically just starts. Joe wants to know if Styles feels helpless. Joe, he keeps reiterating, oh, do you feel helpless? Do you feel afraid? Is that afraidness turning into anger? Are you starting to feel helpless again? Blah, blah, blah. He's really like just egging on Styles, and Styles is doing a really good job in the ring of showing these emotions that Joe is saying that he is feeling, because that's the whole part of this, is that it's predictable what AJ's emotions are, especially with this kind of stuff. Joe tells Styles to get his phone out and call Wendy and warn him that Joe is there. But then he goes, oh, that's right. You don't carry your phone to the ring, do you? That's all right. We wouldn't want to ruin the surprise. And then he goes, well, that's okay. I have the surprise is that I have a gift for Emily, Styles' daughter. And Joe holds up a little baby doll. Joe asks if Styles' rage has turned into fear, like I said. That feeling Styles is feeling is exactly how AJ will be feeling when Joe beats him for the title at Super Showdown. Joe then says, I don't know I didn't write down what he says, but Joe rings the doorbell and says, Daddy's home, and the screen faded to black. Not just the Titantron, not just the video in the stadium or in the arena. The feed for Smackdown just went like that was the end of the show. It was Joe ringing saying, Daddy's home. The screen faded to black. And then I don't know what show's on after. It used to be Ms. and Mrs. But whatever show on USA was next came on. This was amazing. And I've been waiting for a Joe invasion angle. I've been waiting for this for so long. And I'm so excited that they finally did it. Now, what they can do with this now next week, hopefully, I might be getting ahead of myself here, but what they could do with this is have AJ be at home next week, because next week is the quote-unquote go-home show for Super Showdown. Have AJ stay home next week and quote-unquote protect his family, because and then you can have Joe, I don't know, you can have Joe cut promos and do something else in the arena, but you can have AJ, and maybe you have Joe go to AJ's house and do a home invasion beatdown angle. Like, that would be amazing. A la, I think Triple H and Randy Orton did that back in the Attitude Era. Something like that would be amazing. Really good to go home angle. So I hope we get something like that. I really do think that AJ is going to be home next week to protect his family, because that's kind of the story they've been telling. I don't know. I'm really into this match for Super Showdown. I think this match is going to be very good. It's going to be very hard to predict, because this is basically a glorified house show. So are they going to switch titles in Australia? I don't know. They might. They might not. I couldn't tell you. But if in their minds they say, okay, yes, we're just going to treat this as a regular pay-per-view, we can change titles if we want to, I think they're going to. I think this is the time that you put the belt on Joe. And then on the other hand, then you put Daniel Bryan, you have him beat Miz somehow, maybe have him cheat to win. I don't know. And then he can go all through this moral dilemma type of stuff. But that could be great. A lot of good storylines, because then we get a Joe versus Bryan match. I would love that. That would be amazing. This show specifically got me very excited for Super Showdown in general. I'm just very looking forward to all the SmackDown matches, even the Iconics versus the Empress and the Glow. I'm actually excited because I don't know. I think eventually they're going to announce this women's tag team division. So like what tag team are they going to put over? How much emphasis are they going to put on this? Becky versus Charlotte. Can't wait for that. Obviously, Joe and AJ. I think Super Showdown is going to be very good. I don't know if Nakamura is defending. He defended this title last week, I guess, against Rusev, but he hasn't had a storyline yet as far as his championship match, other than the Jeff Hardy stuff. So I don't exactly know how. I don't know. I hope he eventually gets on the card, but this pay-per-view is gonna be amazing, because then you also get the 6-man tag, the Dogs of War versus the Hounds of Justice. Oh God, which is gonna be a good match. All 6 guys are fantastic wrestlers, so it's gonna be a good match. And we get Triple H versus The Undertaker, which they have built up so well. I wouldn't be surprised if that was the main event. I'm really excited for that, because I do think, while it might not be a great match because both guys are kind of past their prime, I still think it'll be very good storytelling both ways. HBK and Kane will be there. It will set up Brothers of Destruction versus DX match, I think, at Crown Jewel, and I'm just really excited. They've done a really good job of because Greatest Royal Rumble was just kind of thrown in our face after WrestleMania, and it was like, here's the matches, but they didn't build anything for it. They didn't build storylines, really. So building all these storylines and getting me involved, you're wanting to actually watch this show, I think they've done a really good job, and I applaud WWE for that, even though they have such a crowded pay-per-view schedule lately. I think they did a really good job here. So that is all the time I have for today. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Like I said before, give us a subscribe, a like, a comment here on YouTube, and thank you all for listening live if you are listening on 91.7 The Edge on WSUW. Yeah, join me next week, Tuesday, for my Raw review, as always. And if you want to hear more of me, I have a podcast, First Round KO, on SoundCloud, iTunes, and Stitcher. Just search First Round KO. Follow us on Twitter. Do all that fun stuff. You can find us. Links should be in the description. So thank you guys very much for listening, and we'll catch you next time.